And Mr. Chairman, we're live on YouTube whenever you're ready.
Okay. Just be quiet. Okay. Good evening, everyone. A call to order the regular monthly meeting of the City of Helotes Planning and Zoning Commission. It is February the 7th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Ask the commission's secretary to call the roll, please.
Greg Michelle.
Here.
Jason Whiteman.
Here.
Ron Haza. Ann Caraway.
Here.
Alex Blue. Mario Rios.
Here.
Jeff Wade.
Here.
David Carl.
Cato.
Cato.
And Michael Gallardo is here from staff, Jen Stones from council, Cindy Perez from staff. As well, we have a couple items before us tonight. There are no citizens to be heard. Our two items are first the approval of the minutes from our meeting last month on the 3rd of January. And you received this in your packet of material. If there are any edits, corrections, revisions that we need to make, please call those to our attention, or a motion would be appropriate.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion is to approve the minutes of January 3rd as submitted. All in favor, please signal aye.
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 Opposed, these minutes are approved. Thank you so much. All right, our next item tonight is discussion and action on the request by Sign Tech Inc. for approval of a wall sign pursuant to Code of Ordinances, Chapter 66, Section 51, that is signs, commercial signs, projecting wall and hanging or in or on windows, including associated variances for P&Z Bank 12590 Bandera Road. The applicant obviously is not here this evening. Does staff wish to address any aspect of this
No.
for us? Okay. Can you go to the rendering of it? Maybe I can just leave that up for us, if you would, Selena. This is the bank across the street here from City Hall. It used to be called, somebody tell me what it was called. It was BBVA?
Compass.
Compass. That's right. So now it's P&C, and the proposal, as you can see and as you saw, is for a logo to sort of do a wrap on that side corner of the building. Counts as a sign, of course. Staff has pointed out in their material to us that there are two ways in which this is non-conforming and would require variance. That is one, on the number of signs, they're permitted 2, this would be sign 3. As well as on the total square footage of the signs. They're permitted up to 100, and this total was around 140 or so, I think, would put them over what they're allowed. So keep that in mind for a motion. If we're going to have a recommendation to approve this, those would be the variances required, but I could open the floor to comments and questions for staff at this time. And I'll actually start with one if I can, just for clarification. There was reference in the application that there is a sign, master sign plan for this property, but there isn't.
There isn't.
There is not. They indicated that there was, but there is not.
There is not.
Okay, well, that answers that. Ann?
Well, I'm trying to look for some justification for the variance. I understand if, there was a need for a third sign because no one could tell that it was PNC Bank. But it's pretty clear they have a monument out front. They have 2 signs, one in front and one on the other side. And to me, the logo, it just doesn't do a lot for them as far as announcing who they are. If I see that logo, I don't know that it's PNC unless I'm familiar with PNC, and then I know that's the bank already. I feel that, we just had HTO who wanted another sign, and we didn't grant that. And I just, if we're gonna do a variance, I feel like there has to be a really good reason, because then everybody's gonna say, well, you gave a third sign for them. So I'm kind of waiting to hear if anybody feels strongly about some justification for it.
So then would you also advance us to the next, you were just there where it had the image from above so folks could see the placement. There you go. Thank you so much. Other comments or questions for this item?
Mr. Chair,
Please, Mario.
I agree with Commissioner Ann. I do believe that 2 signs is the standard in our community, and most of our businesses have adhered to that. Yes, we've done variances in the past when there's a challenge, but in this situation, the signs are prominent that are existing. The logo, again, as Ms. Ann said, I don't know if that is going to be good signage for that business. I'm not here to judge that, but what I can say is that I do know that, and I would hope that staff might know this, but I don't know if there's any other businesses in our community that have a sign that big that take up 2 exterior walls to have some type of signage. And so I guess that question is for staff. Is there anything like that we know about?
Not that wraps around like that, Commissioner.
Thank you, thank
They
you.
usually stick to one side of the wall.
Thank you. So that's basically my thought on that is, I would hope that we would continue the good work we've done. Not that this is bad, but being consistent in our decision making. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to this? Yes, please, Jason.
Yeah, I don't have a huge problem with the sort of number of sides that it's on. I get there's a little bit of a gimmick with the sign that wraps the corner, which I guess is what's getting us to the 3 sides. But I did kind of take issue with the size. It's pretty considerably over the allowable. It certainly far exceeds the discretion that we're allowed in terms of signage. And again, I don't know, if you were to shrink that guy a little bit, I'm not sure that the effectiveness would be that diminished. It just seems needlessly big, based on the image and what our ordinance says.
Mr. Chair.
Please,
I just want to say I completely agree with everything that Commissioner Caraway said and Commissioner Rios. I just don't want to set a precedence for giving people variances for, in my view, completely unneeded signs.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with everyone here. And the other thing is, why is it so low to the ground? So it's easily blocked by anything, but it doesn't fit our criteria.
If this had been painted as part of this color scheme of the building, would that have been acceptable? Or would that have been considered a sign?
I think that would be considered a sign, and that was the same issue that we brought up with the KFC.
Right.
But it's clearly the logo. It's not intended to be some other kind of artwork, so.
Right. And that logo is represented on the wall signage that is in place already, correct? Is it on, I couldn't
Yes.
tell, is it on both sides of the building?
I think it's on their monument sign too.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't think we're in a position to judge whether this is a sign that is appropriate or needed for the business. I mean, that's up to the individual, of course, everybody have their own view on that, but as you all have pointed out, the existing signage is already over the allowable amount and is prominently placed on 2 sides of the building. So I think it's reasonable to say that there's sufficient coverage that doesn't require, that is varying from our code. Well, if there's nothing further, I would invite a motion, and please note this is a recommendation item that will go to council later this week, I presume. Is that correct?
The following council meeting on the 23rd.
Okay. So I'd invite a motion at this time.
Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion.
Go for it.
A request by Sign Tech Inc. for a wall sign pursuant to Municipal Code of Ordinance, Chapter 66, signs, Section 66-51, commercial signs projecting wall and hanging or in or on windows, including associated variances for PNC Bank located at 12590 Bandera Road, Helotes, Texas 78023. Recommend to deny.
Is there a second on the motion? Ron, so further discussion, or discussion of the motion. Mario, anything further?
What was said is good.
Anyone else?
No.
So the motion is to recommend denial of the request by Sign Tech for wall sign pursuant to code, chapter 66 signs, section 51, commercial signs projecting wall and hanging or in or on windows, included as associated variances for PNC Bank 12590 Bandera Road. All in favor of the motion, please signal aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This motion is approved, and as we said, it will go to council at their 23rd of February meeting. At that point, and I presume staff will convey the results of this to the applicant, so that they can address council if they wish. Well, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Surprisingly.
Short and sweet.
Ron,
Mr. Chairman, may I make a motion to adjourn?
is there a second to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, please signal aye.
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 We stand adjourned. Opposed? We stand adjourned at 7:11 PM.
Yeah, we'll have one standout. No, I want to.
Please catch